Yo, what is up, guys? How's it going? Kind of started a little later here today. I decided to just kind of give it some time, but we are back and welcome. About to get started here at Nurburgring, and hopefully we'll be joined by our co-commentator Nick King soon enough. I believe he's troubleshooting some audio issues, so hopefully once that gets fixed on his end, he'll join up. But yeah, so it looks like free practice is closing down, and we are about to get underway with qualifying. It's kind of a different scenario here from our previous 4 races. This time around, it's gonna be pretty wet out here. Now, as we go into quality, we can see these, and it looks like the weather did maintain. So we're gonna go ahead and reset real quick. All right, we should be good now. Let's go ahead and get on board with someone on track. Actually, before we do that, all right. So we can't look at times from the previous session. All right, let's find out who's on track. Wish I could get the full track map here. All right, so I'm gonna do something real quick. I'm just gonna go ahead and back out really quickly. This kind of happened last time too, but this time I learned my lesson. Anytime it happens, let's just back out. Let's join back in. Thankfully, since we are spectators, we kind of have that freedom. There we go. There we go. Took control back. And it looks like the track map is still a little wonky, but that's all right. We'll just avoid using it tonight. Thankfully, Adam is on track, so. All right, so unfortunately, it looks like Nick is still having audio issues there. So we're gonna go ahead and move on to qualifying, and hopefully he messages us once everything's good on his end. Excuse me. Should probably learn how to mute myself more. All right. So, anyways, getting on to qualifying here. Adam Stark. Honestly, I don't expect him to not deliver tonight. He had the most spot time last event, and so, I think he knows the pressure's on. Let's go on board with him real quick. And just as I said that, unfortunately, he's in the wall. That's going to happen, especially here in the wet. I don't doubt that. I honestly don't know, but it's possible that for some of these drivers, this is the first time in the wet. So far, nobody has set a lap time. And it looks like we're 4 minutes into qualifying. So that is that's a little worrying that even Adam Stark was not able to set a lap there. But you know, it was the first lap, so I'll give him that. Let's go ahead and go on board with Carter. And unfortunately, it looks like he's... Honestly, I don't want to judge the pace here yet. This does tend to happen. Sometimes with ACC, it's a little weird. All right, there it is. 2:22. And so far, it looks like he is the only driver in the green. Although it looks like he's losing a bit of time. Leonard Cachola with a 2:27. It's good to see Leonard high up on the board, but unfortunately, I do think that that's going to get pushed down as Jonathan Corkle comes in with a 2:26. That was an interesting move there by Carter. I wonder if Brian Padden was on a fast lap himself. I don't think he was. It doesn't look like he set anything so far. Let's go ahead and look at the timetables once more. All right, so it's starting to fill up, thankfully. I was getting kind of worried there. We were almost halfway into qualifying and nothing. So what does surprise me here is Carter close holding provisional pole. Carter's a great driver, but he usually runs in the midfield. So seeing him in first is it's good for him. I definitely, you know, I'm cheering him on. But it's showing the rain is really affecting everybody. Mike Smith with a P7. That's a very good job from him. Unfortunately, I don't see a time yet for Adam Stark. And honestly, I think that's the most surprising part so far. We're going to move on to John Caetano. He looked pretty fast throughout free practice, so I definitely think he's going to take the fight there to Carter if Adam is not able to move up. It looks like he might be slowed down by that Audi of Garatti. It's honestly kind of surprising to see him with that traction control of 2. Definitely shows he's a very confident driver, but in conditions like this, I think I would be running that maxed out. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a little bit of an oversteer here from John Caetano as he starts pushing it. And it looks like that was not enough, but in provisional pole, somebody new, Eduardo Lima. It's always kind of fantastic to see new drivers taking the competition right to the top. with a fastest time of a 2:22.2. And unfortunately, still no time from Adam Stark. And it looks like Stark has taken that pole back. .221. And honestly, so I guess it was just a setup issue, but Stark is back. A couple changes here. Christopher Greer getting past John Caetano. And unfortunately, Mike Smith losing a position at the moment to Aiden Benitez. I don't think Eduardo Lima is done yet. This is definitely a newcomer. I've never seen him before. But if in the wet, he can take the fight to Adam Stark. I think Stark has a good contender here. Unfortunately, with one event left, it won't be enough for a championship fight. But you know, I think we have a good contender and a definitely a rivalry here for next season. With 3 minutes left, we're going to go ahead and check out our grid one more time. And it looks like the majority of everyone has put in a time. It really doesn't look all that different from what we've seen. The only couple differences here is that we have Harrison Lynn running in P5. That's pretty surprising, to be honest. Harrison's always been one of our top 3 drivers. He's no longer a rookie in this league, so it seems like the wet conditions have thrown him for a loop here. And Eduardo Lima has taken back pole position from Adam Stark with a 2:21.5. It's going to be interesting if Adam's going to fight that back. And it looks like he just gained a 10th, but that is not enough. Not pardon. That's Robin Borden gaining a 10th, moving up into 2nd, pushing Stark down into 3rd. Fantastic job by Borden. And just as I had counted him out, he fights back. Harrison Lynn moving into P3. Fantastic job by these guys. With 2 minutes left into qualifying, they are not done. Unfortunately there for Harrison, he has a car in front. And it looks like it's Wesley Lamy, and Harrison might just be calling it done here. With our rules, overtaking on a hot lap is not allowed. And so he made the right decision there to just kind of pull it out. But let's hope that Carter can't do something about that. And it looks like Carter has lost a place. Adam Stark moving into 4th. Unfortunately, there for Adam, it's gonna be a tough one. But I think he's gonna be able to find 9,000ths of a second to Harrison Lynn. We're gonna move on to Stark at the moment, who's in the pit. So unfortunately, he's not gonna have enough time for another lap. So Harrison Lynn will keep that spot unless Carter Close has anything to say about it. Robin Borden trying to get that spot from Eduardo Lima. Eduardo in the pits at the moment, so it's going to be all down to Robin. Is he going to be able to take pole away from Eduardo? Borden's going to need 3/10 to make that happen. He's definitely going to have enough time to cross the line, but with his current pace, he's going to definitely have to step it up another 10th if he wants a shot at that pole position. He's getting some time. He's 4/10 up. If he can keep this speed down this last turn, down the main straight, he's going to have provisional pole. His time's dropping a little. I think he did it. It's going to be a close one. And that's it. Unfortunately, it was not enough. It was not enough. Oh my gosh, it is exact times. 2:21.513. Exact times. Wow. That was such a good fight. It looks like he just didn't have enough grip coming down the straight, and he was losing a little bit of time. He was probably fighting back on his with the throttle, just not sure if he had enough traction, didn't want to spin out, but wow, that was was that a good end to qualifying there? Identical times. Fantastic job by these guys. Robin Borden was definitely a lot faster there through Sector 2. Unfortunately, he was 4/10 behind in that first sector. Great job there by Christopher Greer having that fastest sector too. All right, so this is going to be our qualifying order. Eduardo Lima in P1, Robin Borden P2, Harrison Lynn P3, Adam Stark P4, Carter Close, Mr. Universe P5, Kurt Moss P6, Aiden Benitez P7, Christopher Greer P8, John Caetano P9, Dan Lee, welcome back with a strong P10, Fernando Silva P11, Jonathan Corkle P12, Nick Smoly P13, Mike Smith P14, Pete Stepani P15, Wesley Lamy P16. Surprising to see Wesley and David Lamy running behind each other. Usually there's always a bit of a separation from the two, so it looks like the rain has kind of brought them both down to a similar level as we get started here soon. We're going to reset real quick. This is always a scary part, hoping that it all works, so it looks like it has. We're going to go really quickly into Garitti's name, Ryan Garitti. Ryan being one of the new drivers, as well as Eduardo Lima coming into Nurburgring. I believe I saw one other new driver. I don't remember. But definitely Eduardo Lima and Ryan Garitti being one of the new ones that to be added here. So Ryan running P18 ahead of Dimitri. Unfortunately, I don't remember Dimitri's first name there. One sec while we find it. Tim Dimitri. All right. So Dimitri running P19 behind in front of Conrad Abbott in P20. Shell Smith P21. Brian Sullivan P22. Leonard Cachola P23. Thomas Knudsen P24. Behind him we have Brian Padden in P25. I don't know this driver. I believe this is the second time we see him. Art Cormier in P26, and rounding it all out is John Proctor in P27. So looks like we have 30 seconds, and everyone should be getting ready here as we're about to start. So yeah, it's definitely interesting how the rain has pretty much affected our grid. For the most part, a lot of guys who run close together are still there, but the order has shifted in each section. And so our co-commentator Nick, he should be joining us. Unfortunately, I think his audio is just preventing him from doing so. So while he gets that fixed, hopefully he'll make it in time for event number 2 as we get started here with our formation lap. But all right, guys, I think this is there's no better time than right now. Welcome, you guys, to SimRacing604 GT4 League. That's a lot of fours. We're racing tonight in the Nurburgring. This is our event number 5. And this league is about to come to an end next week. We have a 1 hour of Bathurst event, and that's going to round out the championship. Unfortunately for Edward Lima running in pole, this event for him is going to be testing because with 2 events left, it's not going to be enough to fight for a championship win. But it's going to be a good test for him, and we're going to be able to see what he's going to bring into next season. But yeah, some of the interesting things here for tonight is Adam Stark running in P4. I believe this is the lowest position that Adam has had the entire season, minus the events where he was not able to participate in. So it's gonna be fun to see what he's able to do from that far back. Something to note is in one of our reverse grid tests, one of the major complaints brought up by some of the drivers was the difference in braking points. So for those used to starting at the front, it can sometimes be a little different having to start further back, as most drivers will probably have a different braking point that you're not used to. And so I wonder how much different it's going to be for Adam. I don't know how used to he is from a front grid starting position. So, he might be one of the best of the late breakers here, or he might just get stuck behind the traffic or lose out to Carter Close. Carter Close being exceptionally fast tonight. Usually we see him lower down somewhere around Mike Smith and around P14, P13. So to see him in the top 5, that's impressive from Carter, but it's a little interesting. It has me a little worried. I don't doubt that he's fast, but having started in every race up until this point somewhere in the midfield, I feel like he might be a little bit out of his element. Now, hopefully that's not commentator's curse, and he's going to wow us with something impressive, but he's not usually around his current company of Kurt Moss, Christopher Greer, John Caetano. I don't know how that's going to affect his racing at all. Qualifying is one thing, but having your competitors around you, that's something else. As we go ahead and get close to the line, as we get started here with event number 5 at Nurburgring, and we are green and we're across the line, going down the straight. Everyone maintaining their positions. It looks like Robin Borden has had a crazy lead there on Edward Lima. Carter Close making contact with Harrison Lynn as he spins him out. It looks like Carter was a little aggressive there. Christopher Greer having some contact there with Adam Benitez, and it's just a mess. Oh my goodness, everything is going a little crazy, but what can you expect into turn 1? Unfortunately, this league has always done a great job of being clean and leaving space, so the wet has definitely changed that, as things have just changed so much so far. Robin Borden getting a massive lead. Christopher Greer moving into P2, Carter Close into that P3. Unfortunately, I think he might have some penalties there from the stewards with that contact with Harrison Lynn, as Edward Lima has lost that 4 positions, but it looks like he's trying to get down the inside of Carter Close. Carter leaving some room there. It looks like they might have almost made contact, but he's so clean. John Caetano coming close behind. My gosh, guys. That's a lot to say. I think that's the most I've said into turn one in any of these events. I honestly did not expect this tonight from this group. These guys always do a great job, but honestly, I think that was just grids being out of order as we hopefully try to salvage this. Edward Lima trying to get on to Christopher Greer. There's so much action that I think we're just going to have to go with the helicam for a while things sort themselves out. Edward Lima proving that he is fast. Christopher Greer is one of our top guys, able to make it from 20th position up until 10th in Kyalami. These guys are in good company, and it looks like he's getting very close. We're going to move on board there with Edward Lima as he tries to get closer. Trying to make the move down the inside. Christopher Greer doing his best to hold on. It looks like Christopher has gone off track a bit. Edward Lima leaving some room, and he's gotten past him. Looks like Robin Borden's just making his way further up the grid, and he's leaving everybody else in the dust. As we head down the main straight into turn one, it might get nasty here again. Carter Close make the move down inside Christopher Greer. They're going to make contact, unfortunately. Christopher Greer must not be happy here. Carter Close, unfortunately, he's being a bit aggressive as we've already seen 2 contacts from him. John Caetano, not enough there. Looks like Adam Stark has lost a couple positions into P6 behind John Caetano. Dan Lee moving up a couple spots right behind Kurt Moss. Actually, you know what? I think that list is a little outdated. Yeah, it kind of is. From what I'm seeing, yeah, Kurt Moss is running behind Dan Lee. And another black Porsche. Unfortunately, I'm not sure what driver that is. It looks like that might be Nick Smoly. I'm gonna have to wait here for my list to catch up as John Caetano catching up to Christopher Greer. He's right on his bumper, trying to make a move down the inside. We're gonna go on board with him. Christopher Greer closing the door. John Caetano acknowledging that and backing off. And it seems like Adam Stark's getting a better line there. Oh, that's unfortunate there for John Caetano. It's possible he might have had some oversteer. We mentioned it in qualifying that his traction control was a little low for wet conditions, so let's hope he's able to correct that really quickly, or he's able to feel out of the throttle a little better, as it looks like Adam Stark just has a lot more speed on exits. Adam Stark going a little wide, as it looks like Dan Lee is making the move on Adam Benitez close behind. Dan Lee coming down the straight on the inside. It's going to be a true test of late braking here. Dan Lee looking like he's got it. And there he is. Adam going for the switch. Nope, went wide. As he had the inside line, but it looks like Dan closed the line. That's great racing by these guys. Nick Smoly trying to take advantage of Adam Benitez as well. And it looks like Christopher Greer is having a bit of a fight with John Caetano. Not enough. Christopher Greer doing a great job. Robin Borden pretty much on his own in the front. Edward Lima close behind him. Carter close. And the real action here is the fight for 4th place as John Caetano tries to make a move on Christopher Greer. It's all going to be about exit here. And my money's on Adam Stark, who goes a little wide. This might open up room for Dan Lee to move up a couple tenths. And it looks like here he comes. Mike Smith close behind Kurt Moss. We're going to move a little further back. This is a rivalry we have yet to see on track. Kurt Moss versus Nick Smoly. As Kurt tries to make a move down the inside and Smoly blocks it. So far, so good. Wesley Lamy behind Mike Smith, or David Lamy, pardon. And it looks like Dan Lee is trying to get around Adam Benitez. He goes down the inside. Sorry, Adam Stark. Or he got past Benitez. Now he's trying to make the move on Stark. Same move as he did on Benitez. Well, it worked twice. And it looks like Benitez is recognizing what's going on. Oh, and it looks like we have a back marker there going a little slow, causing a bit of a jam. That might have hindered Dan Lee. And it looks like it opened the room a little for Adam Benitez. Kurt Moss fighting with Mike Smith at the back. It looks like Mike might have made the move on Kurt. Unfortunately, that back marker might have kind of jammed things up for these guys. And it looks like David Lamy fighting Kurt Moss. Not enough. Well done by Mike Smith. Adam Benitez trying to make a lunge there, but it looks like it's not enough. Adam Stark gets past John Caetano. Down the inside they go, and it looks like that's going to leave room there for Dan Lee. The BMW is going to go wheel to wheel. Who's going to break first? Down the inside goes Dan Lee. John Caetano turning a bit tight. Dan Lee keeping it down the inside as he gets a faster exit. Adam Benitez a little impatient behind John Caetano. Mike Smith behind Nick Smoly. Smoly closes the line. These BMWs going side by side. And it looks like Dan Lee's done it. He's gotten past John Caetano, but John Caetano's not done. He's coming back for a fight, but it looks like he's going to just have to yield. P6 goes to Dan Lee. Well done, Dan. Unfortunately, the battle's just raging on behind him. John Caetano coming back for him. Right on his bumper. These guys aren't giving up. The battle's still going on. And it looks like everybody up ahead has pretty much given each other room as Dan Lee goes off track. And he keeps it on, but that's going to leave room there. John Caetano looking, he's going to have the... he's trying to move on the inside. And we're going 3 wide down the main straight. Adam Benitez, John Caetano, Dan Lee, followed by Nick Smoly. Dan Lee getting ahead. Adam Benitez, haven't seen this twice from Dan Lee. It looks like he's learning. He's going to get ahead of John Caetano. Dan Lee, first hand to the turn. Follow Adam Benitez. And it looks like Adam went wide. John Caetano might have the advantage. That might have made up enough room there for Nick Smoly to get past Adam Benitez. Adam Benitez trying to get past Nick Smoly as Adam Benitez goes wide. That opens the room for Nick Smoly, Mike Smith, Kurt Moss, and David Lamy. David Lamy going wide. Unfortunately, Adam has lost all those positions as David Lamy tries to get past Kurt Moss. And he has. We're going to go ahead and move back up the grid. Unfortunately, these lists are all out of order, guys. Dan Lee and John Caetano still having that fight. Fortunately for Mike and Nick, they've just taken advantage of every situation on track, and they've progressed well. And it looks like we have a bit of a jam towards the back. We have a yellow car, and it wouldn't surprise me if that was Adam Benitez. And it should, because I don't think it was him. And unfortunately, I think that was Kurt Moss. He might have had contact there with, let's see if we can watch this again. Kurt Moss racing with Adam Benitez and David Lamy. And unfortunately, it just looked like he was not able to brake enough there for David. It looks like he did give the position back and waited while he got off track. So hats off to you, Kurt. But the stewards, unfortunately, will have a look at that. As we quickly join the race in a moment. And it looks like so much has changed. We're just going to go ahead and watch this replay again. Dan Lee, as last we saw him, was ahead of John Caetano. Dan getting a little bit of a curb there. Unfortunately, that looked like it slowed him down as they went side by side. And John Caetano might have pushed him off track a bit. And unfortunately, that's an unsafe rejoin by Dan as Nick and Mike get ahead. And that puts him right in front of Adam again. Adam very aggressive. And, oh my gosh, this guy, we're going to go back. It looks like he went off track, unfortunately. Adam did get past him. These are all replays, by the way. So much has happened as we've gone from one driver to the next. These wet conditions are keeping me on my toes tonight. But unfortunately there for Dan. Yep, same thing there. I don't know if it's just a brake failure or too much understeer, but that's going to move him back, unfortunately. We're going to move up again to the guys who've benefited so much from this. Here it is. Adam Benitez making a move on Nick Smoly. And Mike Smith seems to have gotten past Nick. Great job, Mike. Something we've yet to see in this league is this kind of competitive fire from Nick, from Mike Smith, SimRacing604. Something we have seen is his battles on track with Nick Smoly. So this is not an unfamiliar sight for us tonight. Oh, and great job there by Nick. We're going to go on board here as he tries to make a move on Mike. Trying to go down the outside. And it looks like he might have a faster exit, but that little bit amount of curb might open the room for Adam Benitez as he comes up behind him. Adam Benitez, down the inside he goes. And it looks like Nick's just going a little too wide. That's opening up the room for everyone to get past him, unfortunately. We're going to move up down the grid a bit. Robin Borden comfortably in P1. Eduardo Lima with a lot of space in P2. Carter Close, unfortunately, two incidents as we've seen with Harrison Lynn at the start and later on. I forget the other driver. It might have been Christopher Greer. Adam Stark close behind in fourth place. Adam pretty much kept his position and, I don't know if he's going to be able to do much. But Christopher Greer still not giving up yet after that incident on lap 2 with Carter, losing out from P2, moving down to P5. But he's hunting down Adam, so I wouldn't count him out yet. John Caetano having won the fight with Dan Lee, running comfortably in P6. So far, it looks like Mike having gained the most here. And I think that just shows that consistency is rewarded. Mike, we've seen him, zero issues, ran a clean race. And everyone else who's been a bit aggressive or had a bit of a skirmish on track has just lost out of position. And Mike's been there right behind, been there to catch up and take those spots. So hats off to you, Mike. As it seems like he's gained a bit of time there from Adam. We're going to head and move further back. Smoly right behind them. Pete Stepani. We've seen him constantly as we followed this race within the top 10. This is a great job by Pete. Usually we see him further down the back. And you know, good job. I mean, it's wet conditions and it's not easy. So David Lamy unfortunately losing out from, I believe he was in the top 5. Fernando Silva, again, another fast driver, and it looks like the rain has tripped him up a bit. And here we go with Leonard Cachola fighting Kurt Moss. And it looks like that's Adam Benitez, which I'm confused as to why he's there. He makes some contact with Leonard. Leonard oversteering. Unfortunately, okay, everyone gets away, but that's sucks for Leonard. I'm not too sure why. We're gonna go into this HUD view. I'm not too sure why Adam was racing. Okay, we're gonna go back. We're gonna watch a replay here. And this is why. This is why. So it looks like Adam oversteered as he was behind Mike. And that's how he ended up behind Leonard Cachola. And unfortunately, that bit of contact there was enough to ruin his race. So that will get looked at by the stewards. It looks like Leonard. That's a tough one, honestly. Leonard made the move, but that's hard. I don't know what to say there. It's hard to call it a racing incident, but yeah. So tough one there. That sucks for Adam losing out, but you know, unfortunately, it looked like that was his mistake. So Kurt Moss moving down, P14. Dan Lee, P15. We haven't seen much of Ryan Garritti as he's being approached by Jonathan Corkle. And it looks like they're all fighting there for P16, trying to take that from Leonard Cachola. It's hard to say how much damage Leonard has, but might be enough for Ryan Garritti to make a move. As Jonathan Corkle's trying to make a move there. Down the inside he goes. They might make contact, they don't. Leaves enough space. Ryan Garritti going a little wider. Ryan Garritti maintaining that position. It looks like Jonathan Corkle's not giving up. He might have faster exit speed. Oh, and we have a yellow flag up ahead. Unfortunately, that looks like Brian Padden. It looks like he was a back marker, so I don't think he's lost out on much, unfortunately. We're going to go ahead and maintain this fight really quickly. As I look at the board, it looks like Ryan maintaining P1, Edward Lima P2, Carter Close P3, Adam Stark P4, Christopher Greer P5, John Caetano P6, Mike Smith maintaining that P7, Nick Smoly P8, David Lamy P9, Pete Stefani P10, Fernando Silva P11, Harrison Lynn P12. Jonathan Corkle making a move down the inside on Ryan Garritti. Looks like he's done it. As we go ahead and move on to Ryan, who is on the final lap, pretty much ahead of everyone at this point, followed by our newcomer Edward Lima, Carter Close, and Adam Stark. As we approach the line here and end our event number 1 in our 5th race in season 3, we have our winner, Robin Borden, coming down the main straight. And that's a victory for Borden. It looks like Eduardo Lima will be able to podium. Adam Stark trying to take the fight there to Carter Close. And honestly, I think that Adam might take that third position away from Carter, as unfortunately Carter has 2 incidents under investigation. Christopher Greer, P5. John Caetano, P6. Well done by Mike Smith, P7. Nick Smoly, followed by David Lamy. It looks like Fernando Silva, Harrison Lynn, and Pete Stabani try to... unfortunately, they're going to stay in that position. We have seen a couple photo finishes in this league, so it wouldn't have surprised me. Dan Lee getting ahead of Kurt Moss in the final laps. Leonard Cachola, P16, maintaining his position. Jonathan Corkle, Ryan Guritti. And it looks Conrad Abbott, unfortunately, won't have enough to get past Ryan. Shell Smith, P20. Brian Sullivan and Thomas Knudsen. Oh, I'm sorry. There we go. Wesley Lamy. Not enough there to get past Shell Smith. Or, I'm sorry, that's Brian Sullivan. These lists are definitely out of order tonight. P23 for Thomas Knudsen. Dimitri, P24. As we have Art Cormier in P25. And John Proctor, P26. And Brian Patton, P27. If you guys stick around, we're going to go ahead and get started here with event number 2 pretty shortly. As we go ahead and move up with our leaders. We're going to go ahead and reset. So that was definitely an interesting race, guys. A lot of memorable moments on track for sure. Stone Cold Steve, thank you for the comment, friend. The weather is not dynamic. It is, well, I shouldn't say that. It's hard to say. I don't run the server, but from my understanding, there is some randomness to the weather before the race begins. How much randomness is in once the server has loaded, I'm not too sure. There have been events where all 3 sessions were completely bogged down with rain. I believe there was one session where we had overcast through free practice and quali, and it was a massive shower into the race. But I've never, from what I've seen, the weather has never changed during a session. Usually any sort of weather change happens as a session changes. I think specifically for this race, being Nurburgring and all, I think it was I think the probability of rain was increased a bit more than from our previous events. And it's definitely added a fun mix here, as we saw a lot going into this race. I believe we have a couple more minutes. Sorry, not. I believe we have like 2 minutes or so before we go ahead and get started with event number 2. And usually what we see in event number 2 as things get more aggressive. Honestly, tonight, I don't see that happening. I think everyone was pretty aggressive in this first event. I think that as we get settled into event number 2, everyone's going to be a little bit more conservative. This was the first time throughout this season that I've seen the GT4 league have such a massive incident in turn 1. For the most part, these guys always leave room and are very consistent. Tonight, it was pure attrition, honestly. They were aggressive. Everyone was out for blood and trying to gain positions. And I might have sort of called that at the start, as it looked like the rain had affected qualifying times. And we had drivers a bit out of order. Unfortunately, I've spoken a lot about Carter Close. Yeah, so Carter, starting again in P5, I noted that usually he's somewhere down the grid within P10 and P14, and I was kind of scared that we would see the braking points be altered a bit as we had drivers running in positions that they normally don't run. So, for Carter, I'm sure he knows Mike Smith's driving pretty well, as those two are very fierce competitors on track. But you rarely see him behind guys like Adam Stark and Harrison Lynn, and I think that might have, and especially with the rain being another factor, that definitely caused a bit of what I think was the accidents down the start, as we did see him make contact with Harrison Lynn right off the line. And the only time we've seen that in this league was in Imola in our first event. And if I recall correctly, that was with Dan Lee and John Caetano. Which, by the way, we saw amazing racing from those two, both in the BMWs, as you can see them on screen right now. Dan on the left side and John Caetano on the right. We saw some amazing racing from those two. John looking like he got the advantage there on Dan, as Dan had a couple off-track moments. And unfortunately, that ended up... I think he might have taken some damage somewhere along the line and had some brake failure or just suffered a lot of understeer. It looks like with this short 20-minute events, most guys are choosing not to pit. And for obvious reasons. But I don't think the tire management is as on point as it should be. So that's causing a lot of issues as we get further into the race. Also, this is the first time we see Dan back after a, I believe, 2 race absence. So, it's his first race back and it's wet. So we saw some good racing out there from him, but I think once we get into this race, things are gonna mellow out a little bit more, and we're gonna be a little more consistent. Exo, what's up? Thank you for the comment. It's my pleasure, man. Honestly, I'm honored that Mike has allowed me to be able to do this, and so I'm more than happy. And it's definitely a lot of fun. It was an interesting battle in my head whether I thought, are we going to broadcast tonight or do we want to practice on the new DLC? But ultimately, I have a commitment to these guys to broadcast the event, and it's honestly a huge pleasure, and I get a lot of fun out of it. So I'm glad I'm here, and we have the event going on. We were supposed to have Nick King join us tonight, but unfortunately, it looks like he had audio issues and he won't be able to join. So Nick, buddy, hey man, don't worry about it. I know you wanted to be here, and you'll be back. So I believe you, brother. So we're gonna go ahead and see Nick next time around. I just read his message. Unfortunately, he's still trying to fix his audio issues. If you guys aren't sure who Nick is, Nick did a great job last week of handling the commentating on event number 1, as unfortunately I had audio issues then, and it looks like we've traded spots since. So if you guys recall from last race, and I think this could have been because Eduardo, this is his first event in this league. He lost crazy amounts of time off the line to Robin Borden, and I think that might have been just, first time. It's definitely, it's a weird feeling racing guys that you don't know, but also that it's not just your typical online race, right? These aren't just strangers. So I think there might have been some hesitation, or just he was caught sleeping on the line. That's all possible. So I definitely think, and I mean, he was the fastest in quali. He was consistent in P2 throughout this entire first event. So I think this time he's not gonna let Robin get past him. it's almost like that was part of the hustle. You know, Robin thinks he has this on lock. I think Eduardo is about to bring the fight back. I think Carter's going to be a little more conservative on the brakes. He's going to watch out for Harrison, and Harrison's going to do his best to watch out behind him. We're going to stick here with Helicam as we did last race, as there's just so much action going on as we cross the line, as we begin event number 2. Here we go, guys.
Green light, go, go, go.
And we're green, we're across the line. Eduardo Lima doing a good job so far. He hasn't lost as much. Carter Close still being a bit of aggressive there with Harrison Lynn. It looks like Adam Stark is getting a good line. It looks like Harrison might have let the room go there for Carter. He's still fighting it back though. Eduardo Lima going a little wide. Might have left room there for Robin Borden. And it looks like Robin Borden getting off. Carter trying to take advantage as well as Eduardo Lima. Eduardo keeping the inside line. Still fighting it there, and he might have a better exit here. And it looks like Harrison Lynn coming down the middle. That's fantastic there, but he makes some contact there with Robin Borden as that pushes him out wide. Robin Borden in between that Mr. Universe and Harrison Lynn sandwich as they make contact there. Robin pushing Carter Close a little bit far out. Christopher Greer getting ahead of Carter Close, but it looks like he's made contact as well. It's hard to say if that was Carter's fault. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. We're just going to keep on racing. Christopher, a little bit of an off track. Still trying to take the fight there to Carter Close. We're going to move a little further back down the grid. So far, so good. I haven't seen any accidents so far. I think everyone has done a great job of being conservative down, as it looks like John Caetano, a little bit of a tap with Christopher Greer as that spun him around. Oh, that's backed up the grid. Oh, no. This is going to get hairy, guys. A lot of contact further down the back. Dan Lee ahead of Kurt Moss, all getting past Christopher Greer. Mike Smith, Pete Stepani. We have a bit of an off track by the Porsche. Hopefully he rejoins safely. We're going to go ahead and move further back, as it looks like the aggression is starting to pile up back here. Adam Benitez, Christopher Greer, Mike Smith right behind. Mike Smith, as we saw previously, very consistent. So, and we have an off track there, and it looks like that's Carter Close. Oh, sorry, Carter. I'm used to it. That is not Carter Close. I think that's Robin Borden, and that is, unfortunately. We're gonna view that back. I might have gone a little too far back, but hopefully I wasn't. As we can see that incident further back again. So last we saw Harrison Lynn, Robin Borden, followed by Carter Close. And unfortunately that black car we saw might have been the Alpine of Harrison Lynn. As Harrison missed the braking point, went a bit wide, and it looks like he didn't rejoin unsafely, but he made contact. That's unfortunate to see. That opens room there for Carter Close, Adam Stark, Dan Lee, Kurt Moss, Christopher Greer, Adam Benitez, Mike Smith, Pete Stepani, Jonathan Corkle. That's tough to see, honestly. And it looks like there's a drive-through penalty for Adam Benitez. Eduardo Lima pretty much pulling a Robin Borden, just getting ahead of everyone else. Adam Stark as well. Adam definitely, I think he's pushing it harder this time, being further back down the grid in a spot where he normally isn't at. Dan Lee in P3. Fantastic job by Dan, managing to get past everyone else. Kurt Moss, Adam Benitez. And it looks like they've both gone off track. Adam Benitez taking advantage of that off track by Kurt Moss. And I don't think the action has stopped tonight, folks. It's gotten a lot better as we've moved on to event number 2. And it looks like there's a huge pileup of cars very close in the back. Pete Stepani, Jonathan Corkle. And it looks like Fernando Silva trying to make a move there on Mike Smith. Down the inside he goes. Nick Smoly as well. Now this is a trio here we see often racing together. I think they know each other very well, as it looks like Nick Smoly is getting a huge amount of speed there on that exit down the straight. Mike Smith not giving it up. Not gonna be enough there. Mike Smith looking like he's gonna make a move down the inside. That's a great job by Nick Smoly defending as Jonathan Corco gets past Ryan Garritti. Fernando Silva, unfortunately there, he's gonna have to fight two fast guys, as it looks like it's starting to pile up right behind him. Ryan Borden still fighting for positions further back. And it looks like Fernando Silva is getting a good gap away from Nick Smoly. And it looks like Adam Benitez, unfortunately, falling further back. Not really sure what to believe here, as we have him running in P6 but in P22 at the same time. And Christopher Greer has a bit of an off track. What happened to Christopher? So far, so good, fighting with Kurt Moss. Hopefully it's not a similar situation as we saw in event number 1, and it just looks like he just had a lot of oversteer. A little heavy there on the exit, too much throttle. Just can't get any grip to rejoin. That's a massive loss. He might have joined a little unsafely there with Ryan Garritti. As it looks like Robin Borden has made up some of the distance he lost. Oh no! Ryan Garritti. Unfortunately, I'm not familiar with that, and it looks like that was Wesley Lamy. That was. It looks like they were going wheel to wheel and just had a little too much contact. Ryan Garritti close behind. And he had a faster exit and he just turned into him. That'll definitely be investigated by the stewards. It's hard to say, honestly. I don't know whether if that was Wesley or Ryan there, but that's a lot of damage, unfortunately. That's going to cost him time. Moving up, further up. Fernando Silva losing positions to Nick and Mike. And now he's lost it to Wesley Lamy, as John Caetano is right behind him. Fernando Silva looks like he's getting a lot of faster down the straight as John Caetano goes down the middle. Bit of contact with Wesley Lamy. They've gone off track. That's unfortunate. Wesley, it looks like he rejoined safely though, but that can't be said for Jonathan Corkle, unfortunately. John Caetano. This has gotten hairier as we've gotten into this event. I honestly did not see these guys being as aggressive. Normally they are more aggressive in event number 2, but I figured with how event number 1 went that things were going to slow down, but they have not. We're going to check on our race leader, comfortably in that first position. Adam Stark right behind Dan Lee. Kurt Moss. Not much action from these guys up ahead. And again, we're back to this. Nick Smoly and Mike Smith, in my opinion, along with Dan Lee and Kurt Moss, have just gained the most. And again, that just proves being consistent and not being too aggressive will gain you positions. And I think I should personally apply those tips into my racing as well, because yeah, definitely not there. We're going to go ahead and move further back. Fernando Silva defending P7 from Christopher Greer. As we quickly see a yellow car there in the back. And unfortunately, that might be Okay, it's no one in the front. David Lamy on Christopher Greer. This is a battle we've never seen in David, little far out there. That's going to open up a lot of room for Pete Stepani to try to make a move. As it looks like Mike Smith is off track. What happened to Mike? He had lost some time there to Nick Smoly. And it looks like we saw that same move from David Lamy. He just caught a lot of that dirt, and unfortunately that just spun him out off track. And shortly behind we saw the same thing with David. Ah, man. Apologies for the commentator's curse there, Mike. Tends to happen. Some close racing right behind. Oh, and it looks like Harrison Lynn spins out. John Caetano and Shell Smith. This is a duo we don't see often either. Great job by Shell Smith defending from John Caetano. John on the outside. Moving down the inside, and there he goes. Adam Benitez right behind. Has to break. Down the inside, closes the door. Seems like he's a little faster on exit. Right on his bumper. Setting himself up to make the move on the inside. There it is. Unfortunately there for Shell, it looks like he might be running out of order. As Mike Smith is also going to have a move. Shell defending. Closing the door. All right, is this the first? I think we're going to see Mike here be aggressive. Mike is very consistent and won't make the move until he has to. I think this time, Mike, I want to see that fire. We're going to see it from him. Good apex from Mike. A lot of fast speed as Shell closes the door on the inside. Mike's going to be a lot more cautious as he previously went off track here. So much more speed from that McLaren. It's not going to be enough, unfortunately. Tight as we go through. Who's going to break first? It looks like Shell is braking a lot harder than he has to. That's opening a lot of space from Mike. Down the inside. We saw this from Danley before. Every car that's been on the inside has benefited down this straight. Shell might be faster, but I think Mike has this one. It's all going to be who breaks first. He might turn in for, oh, and it looks like Mike let him through and unfortunately just caught too much on the dip there and spun out. You know, from what I've seen from Mike's racing, I think being a little more aggressive would definitely help. I think that he could have overtaken, but he gave room, which is great to see. That's clean driving from Mike, but that unfortunately caused him to lose out more than just one position. Our leaders running comfortably. As it looks like Nick Smoly has gone ahead of Kurt. Sorry we missed it, folks, but great driving by Nick. Let's see if we can't rewind just a bit. Unfortunately, no, we cannot. That's unfortunate for Kurt, but glad to see Nick making up a lot of positions. It's honestly really weird to see him running alone without that red McLaren of Mike right behind him or right in front. I almost feel like something's missing in this picture. I think Nick might feel the same. as it looks like we're coming down to the end of the replay, and we'll be able to join back live. I kind of forget how long a minute is. Fernando Silva attempting a move on Kurt Moss. It's hard to say how well Kurt has done. He's been consistent, but I don't know. There have been a couple weird moments, a couple off tracks. He's been running in top positions, but I think, unfortunately, he's been losing out to just mistakes on track, unfortunately. Wesley Lamy, a little slow through there. Might have been heavy on the brakes. Might have locked up. John Caetano, Christopher Greer. It seems like there just aren't that many close battles out here tonight in event number 2. Just traversing the grid in reverse, trying to find. It looks like there's a bit of damage on that front end of Ryan Garritti. Harrison Land losing a lot once again into P23. Unfortunately, in event number 2, it seemed like that was a bit of his own doing. That's definitely tough to see, though. 2 events, a top 3 driver in the back. But, you know, it's not all over. It's not over for him yet. Dimitri, Leonard, Cachola fighting for P19. Oh, too much oversteer from Dimitri. Not enough to catch up to Leonard. From the looks of it, everyone further in the back is pretty much running their own race at this point. As we move up closer, and it looks like this is our closest fight at the moment. I do see a couple of drivers ahead. And it looks like my list is out of order once again. Kurt Moss getting past Fernando Silva. Fernando Silva's not going down without a fight. Kurt Moss has gained a lot of time. He might bridge the gap to Nick Smoly. That is a lot of water there. Robin Borden has fought his way significantly. If we saw that previous replay with his contact with Harrison Land, Robin Borden in P7, Harrison Land in P21, it's safe to say that Harrison Land might have caught out the majority of the damage, and he's lost out accordingly. We're going to return to our fight.
Right, man. Leader is on the final lap. Give it all you can.
John Caetano, Christopher Greer, Adam Benitez, David Lamy. John Caetano attempting a move. It looks like we had a bit of a concertina there with these 3 drivers. David Lamy not giving it up, right behind John Caetano. Adam Benitez pushing the fight to Pete Stepani. Adam Benitez going wide. That opens up for John Caetano and David Lamy. As we go down the main straight, John Caetano, he's not going to let this one go. I know Pete Stepani is looking in his rearview mirror, seeing that lightning blue BMW coming up fast behind him. Oh, and it looks like he might have had a little bit of oversteer down that hitting the apex on into turn 1. Fortunately for him, David Lamy seemed like he went a bit wide. David trying to attempt a move on the outside. John Caetano going wide again. That opens up. He's going to be on the inside line coming in. He might be able to salvage it if he's able to be faster down the straight. David Lamy going a bit wide. That's going to ruin a bit of his time there as he closes the door to Adam Benitez. And we have a yellow car ahead. And it looks like it's Brian. Brian Patton. It looks like he was a back marker, so the racing will continue as normal. Adam Benitez. He's going to move on the outside. That might not be enough. Carter close behind him. And it looks like Carter gets ahead of Adam as he goes too wide. Unfortunately for Carter, another driver who's lost a lot of positions in this event.
The leader has finished the race.
And it looks like Eduardo Lima in P1, Adam Stark P2, Dan Lee P3, as they go wide and they spin out. Oh no. Normally I'd return to the replay, but as this is the last lap and we did catch a bit of that, we're just going to maintain with John Caetano. And it looks like they're still racing together as we move across the line here. Kurt Moss, Fernando Silva, Robin Borden, Nick Smoly, P4. David Lamy will keep it ahead of Carter Close. John Caetano finishes 10th. Pete Stepani in P9. Christopher Greer, P8. Oh my gosh, what a race with these two. All right, this time I will go back a bit. And unfortunately, I clicked on the wrong driver. We're going to see the timetable. I can't in the replay, fortunately. Hard to say there if Carter Close was able to catch up to David Lamy. And I don't think he was. It's hard to say in moments like these because the grid does change, but from the looks of it, no. David Lamy will keep that P12. And so that concludes event number 2. Honestly, I think that was a lot harder to cover than event number 1. A lot of contact and everyone else spreading out a lot more. Yep, definitely crazy race. As it looks like they're Harrison apologizing to Robin for that contact. It seems like it's mutual, so it's hard to say who was at fault. Well, guys, all in all, that was a very good race. Very fun. I think, though, definitely event number 1 had a lot of interesting battles, but it was good to see drivers fighting amongst different groups than they normally do. But unfortunately, we did not hear tonight from Nick King. But Nick, we look forward to hearing you from next week at Bathurst, as that will be the season finale. And if you guys want to go ahead and join, I'm going to share the Discord league. There might be a few spots open if you'd like to compete. I'm going to go ahead and share that in Discord right now. So if you're not a part of SimRacing604, the Discord league is in chat. So if you guys want to join, Season 3 will be wrapping up next week. Same time as today, 9 p.m. on next Wednesday. We're going to have an hour event in Bathurst. That's how the GT3 league will work. I believe it'll be the same or something similar for this league. So if you guys want to join that race, I believe there are a couple spots open. Or if you guys have purchased the DLC, the British Racing DLC, there is an event tomorrow night at I believe it's Oulton. I believe it's all 3 tracks, starting with Oulton Park. So if you guys join the Discord, sign up for that. And anyways, guys, that's it from me. Mike, thanks a lot for allowing me to host these races, and it's been a lot of fun this season as we wrap up into our last event. And so hopefully, coming into season 4, we can definitely step things up. I definitely feel like I've learned a lot, and I'm starting to see what everyone likes and what everybody responds to. So it's definitely been an honor and a lot of fun. So anyways, guys, thanks for joining. Thanks for being here. And we'll see you back next week. Have a good night.